What's up, everybody? Welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. I'm Drew Bosley. You find me on Twitter at ArtisticGamer28, and that's the one, the only. It's Scott Savage. You can find him on Twitter at Savage. Scotty, what's happening, buddy?
Oh, it's another week, and we are waist deep in some good, solid games. It never ends, and well, that's the theme of this show. It's never gonna end.
No, absolutely. Dude, so we're in holiday season. So I got hit up yesterday with, hey, consider this for your holiday coverage. I'm like Halloween just ended. It's like, come on. That's just how quickly we move into the next season, right? So yeah, Halloween's gone. We're now talking about the Christmas holiday seasons. And yeah, we got something in the works ourselves, but that's funny because we just talked about it too. So weird.
Yeah, I want to make a pitch, actually. If anybody out there has any favorite Christmas game, holiday season kind of scenario, anything like that, I'm very curious.
Absolutely, yeah. Let us know. Yeah, I know which one yours is because you mentioned it the other night. So, but we'll leave it and let it linger. So, but everybody can join us live over on Twitch.tv/the official ITG, as well as YouTube at Inside the Game Official, 11 a.m. Eastern. But if you can't join us live, that means you should hit us up later. InsideTheGame.ca, podcast services and TV streaming networks around the globe. Scott, coming up on today's show, Overwatch 2 and Diablo 4 hit with delays until 2023. Dude, it's not even next year. It's the year after. Xbox looks to the future with Metaverse. And Marvel's Avengers removes paid XP. I don't know why that was there in the first place. There, Crystal Dynamics, that just you ticked off the entire community. But we'll get into what's going on between them and Square Enix. I don't know what they were thinking, but
yeah, I just hope they're not following it up. Oh boy, loot boxes.
Oh, just yeah. Well, you already get us a challenge card we have to pay for every time it comes around. So yeah, well, man. We'll get to it. I got a lot to say, Scott. I'm already fired up. I've had a cup of coffee this morning. I'm good to go. Let's get into Overwatch 2. Diablo 4 delayed until 2023. Blizzard's big upcoming sequels still aren't ready. This comes by Ethan over at Kotaku. Activision Blizzard announced during an investor call today over on Overwatch that Overwatch 2 and Diablo 4 will be arriving as soon as originally planned. Won't be arriving, sorry. But they didn't provide any new time frame for when the 2 big sequels will eventually come out. Quote, while we are still planning to deliver a substantial amount of content from Blizzard next year, we are now planning for a later launch for Overwatch 2 and Diablo 4 than originally advised. It's unfortunate, Scott, but dude, did you really expect to see this game when they thought they were coming? With the amount of crap that Blizzard is dealing with right now, the amount of people leaving and all the backlash with sexual harassments and this and that and all these allegations going on, I am not surprised one bit to see that they will not be able to hit the targets when they're looking to launch both of these games.
Their product had to take a hit. That absolutely makes sense. There are a lot of upturning happening and people being restructured. So you have to accept that there's going to be some fallbacks to that. And this makes a lot of sense. Overwatch 2 is a giant property, a big drop that they're going to put down. And Overwatch 1 spawned a lot of esports league and that. So it's something that they're going to want to take their time with. And a rushed game could be bad forever, but a game that takes the time and makes itself good, well, that could be good forever.
Absolutely. I have another quote here, Scott. It has become apparent that some of the Blizzard content planned for next year will benefit from more development time to reach its full potential. This was Activision Blizzard who said that. We're not too surprised at all. Both Overwatch 2 and Diablo 4 were revealed back in 2019. So
holy, I can't believe it's been that long.
Yeah, just like that, eh? Dude, moving on, I want to still stay with the world of Blizzard and Activision because Jen ONeill leaves Activision Blizzard. Blizzard's co-leader's departure was announced during the company's third quarter earnings call. That's a weird time to announce this. But this comes from Jeffrey Russo over GamesIndustry.biz. In a statement, ONeill further shared details of her departure, saying the move was prompt after seeing Activision Blizzard employees, quote, working towards meaningful, lasting change, end quote. The quote continues and says, this energy has inspired me to step out and explore how I can do more to have games and diversity intersect and hopefully make a broader industry impact that will benefit Blizzard and other studios as well, ONeill said, end quote. Quote, while I am not totally sure what form that will take, I am excited to embark on a new journey to find out, end quote. Additionally, she said Activision Blizzard leadership has agreed to make a $1 million grant to Women in Games International, where ONeill is a board member. The investment will go towards mentorship programs and skill building. ONeill was appointed co-leader along Mikey Ybarra. Dude, he came from Xbox. I wonder how he is in this whole situation now. Does he go, man, I should have stayed at Xbox?
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of people bounce out of there because they're just not comfortable, and that makes a lot of sense too.
That's just it, right? Like Jen ONeill wasn't there all that long, and then she's already leaving, which is unfortunate to see. Quote, with my remaining time here, I will be transferring my responsibilities to Mike and transitioning into a new role working closely with Activision Blizzard and WIGI, the Women in Gaming International, to determine the first steps around how the grant will be utilized and its structure, she explained, end quote. Dude, good on her to get out, because I think right now Activision Blizzard is just an absolute train wreck of a company to try and figure out how to solve this issue, right? It's really, we've been covering this now, Scott, for how long? And it still continues.
Months now, yeah. And this would be a good prompt. It makes sense. Anybody who's looking at the door this whole time, I mean, now's the time, really.
Here's your chance to get out, right? Like, this is it. Yeah. I'm not sticking around for this. I'm out of here. And that's where it's kind of going, which I don't blame anybody if they're looking at this company and looking at their resume going, man, I worked at Activision during this time. This might not be a great place to be. Let's bail out in the middle of this so I can get out and ahead and start clearing the pathway to a broader industry for myself to then make headway and hopefully work at a better company. Now, I'm not saying Activision Blizzard is full of bad employees. Dude, we all know it's a mixture, right? That's the biggest thing. You got to weed out the bad to keep the good. And if they can do that, then they can come back to a solid company and be on top. Call of Duty year over year over year still sells. because the majority of gamers, I'm gonna say it, dude, the majority of the gamers don't follow the industry the way we do, right? We're into the nitty and gritty because this is what we love to do, and we love to be here. We want to know exactly what's going on. But your average gamer who buys 2 or 3 games a year is just going to come back next year and buy the next Call of Duty without even knowing anything that's going on over at Activision.
Well, I wish there was alternatives like Titanfall 3 coming down, but that's just not going to be there.
EA, come on, Respawn, let's go.
I really hope that Blizzard, Activision, they can turn their situation around. We know they're working on that.
Yeah.
But I hope that they do cultivate a good environment, regardless of these people bailing.
No, for sure.
That's gonna happen.
I think that's the ultimate goal, right? You see Bobby Kotick actually take a pay cut to help alleviate some of the situation and kind of make a better stance over at Activision. But we'll see what's happening over there, because what's going on over the world. Microsoft says it's planning 3D Metaverse application for Xbox. What? Company details its vision for bringing the digital and physical worlds together. This news comes from Tom Ivan over at VGC. Microsoft has detailed its vision for the metaverse, including plans to create 3D gaming applications for Xbox. During Microsoft's Ignite 2021 conference on Tuesday, the CEO, Nadella, said that the company intends to bring the digital and physical worlds together with a new series of applications incorporating virtual environments. This is the Xbox home, Scott. This is what's coming, buddy. Xbox.
Oh, without the trophy case.
Oh, man, I'm out. That's it. Quote, when we talk about the metaverse, we're describing both a new platform and a new application type, similar to how we talk about the web and websites in the early 90s, Nadella said during the keynote speech. In a sense, the metaverse enables us to embed computing into a real world and embed the real world into computing, bringing real presence to a digital space.
What in the... I'm not sure what they mean by this, but the things that are swirling in my head are kind of like that Futurama episode where they go onto the internet and it's virtual reality. That's kind of what I'm imagining here, but I feel like it won't be as exciting.
They're trying. So, and I was watching stuff yesterday on the metaverse for Facebook and their whole transition. Now the Oculus Quest is no longer the Quest. It's now Meta, which I'm like,
oh, no. I'm not with this one. This is like changing all the Maxes into special Ks around my town. It's just, I'll never see it that way.
I hear you. But their idea and their vision is, dude, it's Ready Player One stuff, right? That's the ultimate goal, is to get us into that environment where we feel like we actually exist in the digital age. I personally like to be the touchy-feely guy in the real world, but it's digital space. I don't know how that's going to work, but we'll see. It says, quote, for years, we've talked about creating this digital representation of the world, but now we actually have the opportunity to go into that world and participate in it. What's most important is that we are able to bring our humanity with us and choose how we want to experience this world and who we want to interact with. I can't overstate.
I have a new idea floating around in my head. Anybody play Mega Man Battle Network specifically? There's a whole internet thing you plug in, and now you're in the internet. It's very similar to what they're describing here.
Dude, it's Wreck-It Ralph. We're just gonna go in there and smash. I can't overstate how much of a breakthrough this is. It's no longer just looking at a camera view of a factory floor. You can be on the floor. You can be on the floor. I'm just gonna.
You can feel like the floor.
Dude, you know what it reminds me of is when they announced the Call of Duty on the boots on the ground running or something. You remember that whole situation? Boots on the ground, boots on the ground. We're boots on the ground. TV, boots on the ground. It's no longer just video conferencing with colleagues. You can be with them in the same room. It's no longer just playing a game with friends. You can be in the game with them. So that's their ultimate goal, is that Ready Player One situation, right? That's the scenario they're going towards, which sounds cool and exciting, but it kind of sounds a little scary.
No, yeah, there's potential for it to not work out quite as planned, and you know that even if they do progress towards what they're talking about, there's going to be setbacks. There's going to be a lot of development time in between now and then.
Yeah, absolutely. Dude, we can become famous over on Twitch right now.
Oh boy!
Oh, those
Finally,
boss. Yeah, that's what we've been waiting for. We thank you for all of our television viewers. We appreciate you. Screw the bot. But dude, let's move on to the Avengers, because Square Enix removes paid XP boosts from Marvel's Avengers. Quote, "We hope this can be the first step in rebuilding your confidence in us as a team." This comes from Danielle over at gamesindustry.biz. Dude, this never should have been there in the first place. They stated right from the get-go when they made this game that would not have any of these little paid XP things, and sure enough, what comes down the line? Paid XP. Square Enix and Crystal Dynamics have removed paid XP boosts from Marvel's Avengers following backlash from players over their recent addition. No way.
Well, I for one am glad that there's backlash growing now instead of everybody just kind of taking it on the nose and not saying anything.
That's for sure.
You have to speak up to the games that you want. You kind of have to have an active role in making the next one or changes.
Welcome to the internet, right? That's, I think, the biggest step for us as a consumer and as a gamer, the ability to kind of voice our opinion. Now, you don't have to be a jerk about it, but you don't have to be, but you can voice your opinion in a sense, in a positive light. Go, hey, you know what, this isn't cool, this never should have been here. Like, obviously you saw me a little heated there because, dude, it just should not have been there, but you don't have to be like rude about it, right? But in a statement on the game's official Twitter page, the pair announced that Heroes Catalyst and Fragmented Extractors, two one-time use consumable items that players can buy to progress through the game faster, will be removed by the end of November 2nd. We apologize, quote, "We apologize for not responding sooner to your concerns about the addition of paid consumables in the marketplace," end quote. The statement said, quote, "We introduced them as an option for an evolving player base and did not see them as a pay-to-win since they don't offer power directly," end quote. They do offer a sense of power. Like, that's the biggest thing, Scott. Like, you are trying to boost the player. I appreciate that, you know what, new players get in. Dude, I have through and through. I have a friend of mine, when he plays Assassin's Creed, he buys the next Assassin's Creed, right? He gets the full edition, and then he'll buy all the boosts and completely level his character up before even stepping into the game. I'm just like, man,
that changes the game so much, though, especially for Assassin's Creed.
Well, exactly, right? Because right now I'm going back to Odyssey and I'm 30 some odd hours in, and I'm still at levels where I'm underpowered, but yet I'm overpowered in certain situations. But if I come out of the gate swinging and I'm fully equipped, dude, that kind of gives me a big advantage, and I can just breeze through the game. You know what I mean?
Well, and what, you know, in certain games, depending on the game, you know, what if you just, now I have a jetpack from day one, and you're supposed to get that at the end of the game? Well, that's going to change things.
Absolutely. I think that's the biggest thing too, moving forward with games of a service, is you have to be subtle on how you introduce these mechanics. You don't want to come out as a pay to win situation, in which you clearly stated you would not do, Crystal Dynamics, and then you did, right? That's the biggest thing. Yeah, you heard feedback because people were pissed. Like, let's be honest, that didn't fly over very well with any of us, because you stated, if you say something, Scott, you got to stick to your word. Otherwise, you lose the trust in the fans. That's the biggest thing, right? So they've come out, they've apologized, and hopefully they can rebuild our confidence as a gamer. And now my next question is, where's Spider-Man?
Yep.
Right? Like, you knew it was coming, didn't you, Scott?
I'm curious to when they're going to drop that in, because I know we'll lose you for about a week.
Yep, you will. I'll be gone. And the biggest thing is, the minute Spider-Man is introduced into Marvel's Avengers, you got to wonder if we're getting a Black Panther scenario where we get this whole other world, or is it more of the Kate Bishop kind of storyline where their characters are introduced, you get a little mini story, and then that's it, you're kind of done. But it's also going to get compared to Insomniac Games, because they just produced some of the best Spider-Man games we've ever played. So know,
how do you live up to that afterwards? It's a hard act to follow up, but I hope they do implant more of a mission scenario, and maybe they step you through the Spider-Verse. I like the idea of Miles Morales next to Peter Parker.
Sure.
I get the spider peg thrown in there. Why not?
We'll see what happens, dude. But who isn't seeing what's happening right now, unfortunately, is more people are playing Left 4 Dead 2 than Back 4 Blood. Steam numbers show Turtle Rock's latest project losing out on his 12-year-old predecessor. This comes from Ian Walker over at Kotaku. Dude, that hurts. Like, you just launched a game and people are still would rather play your old title. Helmed by the original Left 4 Dead developers, Turtle Rock Studios, the similarly named Back 4 Blood is considered by many to be a straight-up continuation to the company's earlier co-op shooter. Back 4 Blood follows the winning Left 4 Dead formula, tasked a team of 4 players with traveling from point A to point B in long, involved levels filled to the brim with procedurally generated zombie hordes, both mundane and special. Dude, that is Back 4 Blood. Like, when we were playing this for the show, my wife asked and said, like, what's the point of this game? I said, you go from point A to point B and shoot your way through everything. If it moves, shoot it. And that's about it, right? And then for some, a lot of people love this, others not so much. But Left 4 Dead 2, on the other hand, is so good that it continues to enjoy a robust community nearly 12 years after its original release. According to Steam DB, the player base dropped off a little bit after Back 4 Blood hit the scene, but since has come roaring back, surpassing the newer game earlier this week. And like, dude, that is somewhat like a slap in the face to Turtle Rock. That is too bad that they've lost the initial setup. Like, we always say, new game is the new game. You jump on the new game, you want to see how it is, but can it keep you there? Clearly it does not, because everybody bounced back to Left 4 Dead 2. Dude, as the writing, this was just yesterday's article I grabbed. There was 23,816 folks are playing Left 4 Dead 2, opposed to the 17,474 people playing Back 4 Blood.
Now, is this just considering Steam, though? Because that would
it is. It is.
Okay.
That is just Steam DB. So that's where you're able to pull in some numbers. But yeah, we don't have console numbers, so we don't know what's going on. Obviously, Left 4 Dead 2, I don't know if it'd be just as strong on console as it is with Back 4 Blood. Back 4 Blood, I think, will captivate a lot of console players. But in the world of Steam, dude, everybody went back to Back 4 Blood too. It's just crazy.
Games live a lot longer on Steam, I've noticed. So that makes a little
do.
bit more sense when you consider that. But I think it's because you play Back 4 Blood, and of course it brings back the memories of Left 4 Dead. I was in high school when I played those, so I've got a lot of memories that are really nice. And I play those games, I'm yelling, there's a witch over here. I'm doing the voice lines that they do in Left 4 Dead. So I can see why people would want to jump back into that, especially if you have friends that still own the game.
Absolutely. I think that's the biggest thing too. When we were playing, they dropped the beta, and I'm in there with Luke and Kyle, and they're calling it all the shout outs from the Left 4 Dead. And I'm like, I haven't got a clue, because I never really played Left 4 Dead at all, to be honest. But jumping into Back 4 Blood, they're calling out all the creatures from the previous titles. I was like, wow, like, what's that mean? Like, you know what I mean? And then here we are now, people jump back to Left 4 Dead 2 instead of playing the newer predecessor, Back 4 Blood, which is just crazy to think of. But Scott,
I'm wondering, what do you think they're going to do to fix Back 4 Blood? Do you think they're going to add the characters from Left 4 Dead? Is that enough?
Can you imagine the crossover? I think that'd be worse. I don't know if they can fix it. I think that's the biggest thing. Like, what can they do? The card system was a step forward, but I think it complicated the situation as well, right? Where Left 4 Dead 2 seemed pretty straightforward. You grab your buddies, you go out, you shoot everything, and you have a good time. Where this whole card system, I think, is throwing some people off. Because I know it threw me off. I was like, what am I doing with these cards? And what am I picking? Because I wasn't quite straightforward.
It was more reading than I expected to do. But it added a little more depth to the game. So I can see why they did it.
Yep, me too. Absolutely. Overall, like, dude, it's just, the game's just not for me. But I know a lot of people are having fun. I know people are still playing the game. But yeah, it's just unfortunate to see Turtle Rock lose some of their audience they should have kept, because they went back to their older title. But that's the way it goes in the world of video games sometimes, Scott. And we should know what's coming out. What game announcements and releases do we have for today?
Oh, we have one for Vigor. Woo-hoo! I don't hear enough about this game.
I know.
The Outlands are changing forever. In a new update, Bohemia is leaving behind the seasonal updates, and instead they're introducing stories about individual Outlanders, which will slowly reveal more information about the game universe set in the post-war Norway. This sounds cool. You can collect the gear of the main protagonist, Adam, in the battle pass that will be alongside, along with audio cassettes that are available in the free tier of the battle pass. Additionally, players will enjoy the brand new shootout map, Kjarston, I think I said that right, and a new weapon, new flash grenades, as well as a lot of visual improvements for the Xbox Series X console, the PlayStation 5, the Xbox One X, hey, that was a little while ago, remember those?
Yep.
And the PS4 Pro.
That's cool.
So there's a lot more. They go on to list a lot of different editions there, so that's good to see them get more content.
I'm jumping back in, dude. I gotta be honest. What else we have?
I'll join you.
Sounds good.
We have a new update for Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Well, Ubisoft has announced that it is the 35th anniversary of Ubisoft, and Breakpoint will kick off with a free weekend to play. That's November 4th to the 7th, and it's available on the Xbox consoles, the PlayStation consoles, not PS3, the PC, and Stadia.
That's good, dude. They had a new update with Motherland. Steve and I jumped in last night. We're having some fun.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys have to say about that. Actually, I'm sure that'll be a video coming up.
Yep.
There's more news in Everspace 2. You can delve into the strangest star system yet, the Kite Nebula. This is the Stranger Skies update will feature a new faction, gear, gameplay mechanics are changing, alien life forms are coming up, story content, another companion, and a new ship class. Oh, just really thickening that game out.
They sure are.
Now, we have one whole release today, and that would be Bloodshore. And that is on the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, XS, Switch, PC, iOS, and Android. That might be actually everywhere but Stadia.
Yeah, absolutely. Good point. Dude, that's going to wrap up today's show. Everybody, thank you for hanging out with us. This is ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. You can follow us over on Twitch. Join us live on twitch.tv/theofficialITG, as well as YouTube at the Inside the Game Official. If you can't join us live, hit us up later. InsideTheGame.ca, podcast services and TV streaming networks around the globe. I'm Drew, that's Scott. We'll see everybody tomorrow inside the game.